This is the part in the video series where I would tell you guys that this is 2 matches clumped into 1, but because this is the only short one in the championships brackets, or the finals bracket, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to upload this one by itself, and it's going to be a short video, but every other game after this point is actually going to be a pretty meaty sized video by itself, so I guess just consider this one a short meal if you guys happen to still eat your food while you watch me. I know a lot of you probably finish your meals within the first 3 minutes, but it's a thought that counts, right? At least you'd be halfway through the game. So anyway, this is a game against Alex Algeist, and a lot of the people in this bracket I know are damn good freaking Pokemon players, but the inexperience for NU shows in a decent amount of them. And now Algeist actually consistently will have really close games, or will just flat out kick my ass because I refuse to bring standard things to whatever tier we happen to be playing at the time. But it was kind of me on this one that cheesed out, which I'm 100% okay with because this is in a tier that he doesn't seem to be too familiar with. Eviolite Duosion is not going to survive a Choice Banded Scyther's U-turn. It's not. That's definitely a thing. So it was during this game, and this game only, that I realized that I left my Everstone on my Xatu, which is a big problem because given the fact that it was supposed to be a Cobra Berry, that would have actually let me take multiple knockoffs from this thing because it did have knockoff, which is fine. But I have Psyshock on this thing exactly for Hariyama, which happens to have the Assault Vest and whatnot. And knockoff, I think, is just going to do a fuck ton of damage. He's actually able to knock me out with a Bullet Punch here, if I'm not mistaken. Which, that was a really, really shitty surprise to learn the hard way. I don't even know whether or not that crit mattered. I was just so upset by the fact that I had fucking Everstone on. I was like, Frank, can I change my item? And he's like, no, but you can take it off. And I was like, okay, I'd actually much rather have that so I don't get knocked off even harder. Because that was freaking embarrassing. But I know the best thing he can do if I bring in my Heliolisk is Bullet Punch. I'd much rather subject Heliolisk to it than Typhlosion because I want to keep it as full HP as possible for eruptions and whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and Volt Switch pivot out of here once again. So Hariyama, quick work made of that. Now I can actually go ahead and do shit with Typhlosion and Regice. So I'm going to bring in Regice right now, as a matter of fact. And he brings in Malamar. This thing is kind of scary, but because of the fact that I do happen to have Scyther around, if he happens to be a Scarf variant with superpower, his superpowers are not going to be doing a lot at all, and I should just be able to force him out with the U-turn, because if he's faster than me, he's not going to be able to switch it up. He's not going to be able to switch up his move thanks to the fact that he's Choice Scarfed. But if he's slower than me, which he does happen to be, I guess maybe he's just relying on the fact that maybe a +1 defense is going to be able to save him from a Choice Banded Scyther's U-turn, but the thing is it's not. Choice Banded Scyther's U-turn actually does crazy good damage, and I think it's Scyther that's actually just tearing holes through this man's team in this game. So I decided to go out into Heliolisk again because why the hell not? We do see Inamura enter the field. I do not really find this thing to be a threat at all. If anything, I'm just going to get some chip damage on it and get to the point where I can just knock it out with like a Surf or something like that. This thing has so many weaknesses that nearly anything you can toss at is going to end up being neutral. I was actually kind of scared of making this play right here because I thought he was going to have Freeze Dry, and I thought it was going to hurt a lot more than it was going to, but he just doesn't go for it or just doesn't have it, which is actually pretty fine by me. I think I find the opportunity here to lay up my... No, I scald. That's fine. But he brings in Gator. I'm really scared of this thing being the DD Sheer Force set, which is something that has been... I'm not going to call it popular, but I guess it was in the other brackets. And the Crunch actually does kind of look like Sheer Force damage. So, no, not a fan of that. On top of that, I don't get a Scald Burn off on it. But the important thing is he's actually not going for DD or SD or any setup moves. He just wants this thing gone. And I'd much rather get the safe switch into Heliolisk than let this thing set up on me at all, because setting up would have been really scary for me. I'm not sure how I would have realistically dealt with it, because that thing's basically a tank on not moderately slow wheels at all. So he's going to go ahead and just keep pivoting between Camerupt and Feraligatr. I really don't care because I'm still getting chip damage on his Gator, even with Surf, so I'll let him play this game if he wants. I think what he was ultimately trying to do was play it to a point where he thought he could knock me out with Aqua Jet, but he forgot about Dry Skin, which is big for me. I actually get back some life from Recoil, and I'm able to knock him out with a T-Bolt. Just his face when he was looking at his DS is pretty funny. I was like, oh shit, fucked up. Whoops. But thankfully, Gator's gone. Heliolisk was the perfect switch into it in that tier, which is one reason I'm glad both of them are gone from NU. Having those two atom bombs basically flying around at each other made it dangerous for anything else in the crossfire. So I actually failed to knock this thing out with a Surf. That's fine. I wasn't really sure whether or not it was going to, and I was okay with damage being damage. It kind of sucked that I lost my Heliolisk at this point. Or Heliolisk. Oh man, if that thing talked, and it talked funny, it would have a Heliolisk. But no, I lost my Heliolisk, and I think this thing is a Spexamora actually, because it keeps going for Earth Power. Hyper Voice would actually still do a little bit more, if I'm not mistaken. Does Ice resist Ice? I don't remember if Ice... Actually, I think Ice does resist Ice. Maybe it doesn't. No, yeah, it does. What the hell am I thinking? Of course it does. So, oh my god, sorry, it's still kind of early. I was like, what the fuck am I thinking about? That's why I wanted Heliolisk around, because I had Surf on it. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and go for an Ice Beam right here, because it turns out I'm actually still faster. And it is neutral on Camerupt, and it does so much damage, guys. Look at that. Jesus Christ, it's like 75% with a neutral Specs Ice Beam. Nice, right? But because of the fact that I still have Scyther left, and I still have Typhlosion left too, I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and clean things out with a Scyther's Aerial Ace, and kind of wrap things up nicely for me. So that's the end of the first game in this bracket. I've got 4 more coming up after it, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Once again, if you are, you can leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. Y'all know how that works. After this, I do either have, I can probably do a showdown session, or I can upload the PAX Pokemon League battles I had. I didn't have too many of them. But they were okay ones. They were with a different team, and then uploading that will give me time to record a couple more showdown sessions. So, I don't know. It's all whatever you guys want to see, I guess. Anyways, that'll do it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.